Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. So it appears that the nightmare for Hasan Piker is continuing because now even some of his most perceived defenders are turning on him live in front of their audiences. Now, of course, this all stems back to what else but Collargate, a term used to refer to an ongoing situation where Hasan is facing criticism for his treatment of his dog Kaya live on Twitch. We are at, I believe, day 15 of this situation, which is really insane because this thing just keeps dragging on and on for really three reasons. Number one, Hasan won't stop talking about it. Number two, his community won't stop talking about it and harassing other content creators for talking about it or not talking about it. And also because there's endless clips that keep resurfacing over and over again, suggesting that this is a pattern of behavior for him. And despite his best efforts to send his orbiters and his community after people pointing out these patterns of behavior, and despite the puff pieces made by journalists trying to prop him up, and despite live stream fails and other popular subreddits removing clips showing, for example, a time where his dog had an open wound on its neck because they believe it's old news, despite all of this, it's just not enough. Despite his efforts, his very concerted efforts to flush this controversy, he's only seemingly making it worse. Now, people are still rallying behind this whole thing, including people like XQC's community, who stream sniped him to scream, "Free Kaya."
Hashtag free Kaya. Stop being sorry.
Yeah, you can't stop the movement, but there's an interesting development here with a different content creator, someone nobody expected, and that's Ludwig. Now, this meme is atrocious, okay, but I see it all the time. People made this because they believe that, essentially, Ludwig is on a leash with Hasan. Hasan controls his actions and will basically discipline him whenever he steps out of line and criticizes something Hasan has done. But many people are believing he might have broken free of these chains, and he's now off leash. So many dog puns. But yeah, a lot of people are looking at a recent stream where Ludwig pretty much made it clear he doesn't like Hasan. In fact, he claims he's not his friend. And as soon as his streaming career is done, he, like 95% of the other people he associates with, will no longer be someone he wants to talk to. And he also talked about why all this began, the last 18 months, where a lot of people are calling him a Hasan defender, and a lot of people from Hasan's community are simultaneously saying that he's a Hasan hater.
So I uploaded a video that talked about really not much. It was a filler video, but Hasan saying that streaming is harder than a 9 to 5. I poked fun at Hasan, and then I went on to do a sponsored ad read. I forget for what sponsor. And then filled up some bullshit, called it a day, made some money. Easy gig. Until Hasan reacted to it on stream. And then the video got a bit brigaded by Hasan fans who are upset. And the sponsors, not so happy these days. I don't know if you know this. When Hasan comes up for sponsored deliverables. So I took it down. All right. I uploaded the sponsor at a later date, and then I re-uploaded the video. But because of that, I inserted myself into some shit that has been with me for 18 months. Bitch move? Maybe, but I also don't care to die on the hill.
So yeah, that's pretty much the basis of this entire thing involving Ludwig and Hasan. 18 months ago, he makes a video where he takes a very small shot at Hasan, basically saying Hasan's comments about a 9 to 5 being easier than streaming is a bit ridiculous. And it's funny too, hearing that from Hasan, you know, the leader of the working class over here, calling his streaming job harder. Of course, there's unique challenges with streaming, but you're not going to reach the average Joe with that sort of comment. But he took that small shot. Hasan did not like it one bit. He talked about it on stream. Ludwig gets brigaded. He gets scared for his sponsors, and then pulls the video, and then 18 months ensue of non-stop brigading from Hasan's community, which is not surprising at all. But going further into one of these recent streams, Ludwig has made it clear he believes, in reference to Collargate, that Hasan 100% used a shock collar.
I think he lied about having a shock collar. I think he 100% had a shock collar based off what's on my For You page. Maybe I'm getting psyoped. He's adamant that he hasn't shocked her. But that 100% is a shock collar, as a fact. I feel like that shit is 100% a shock collar. But I got no clue. And I think when you come in and you say, oh no, you're going to get the Hasan call now, I think like you are like genuinely pathetic.
So as I was stating earlier in the video, it appears that Ludwig is off leash. He is biting back against Hasan. In the context he provided there, just to make it very clear, this whole thing, this whole ordeal over the past 18 months began with a video where he made a comment poking fun at Hasan, saying streaming is harder than a 9-to-5 job, which is really ironic coming from Hasan, you know, the guy who's representing the working class, so to speak. But that led to 18 months of really two types of people getting angry. People were calling Ludwig spineless for deleting the video, and then Hasan fans were very angry. So he kind of made a lot of different camps angry with that decision. He claims it wasn't because of Hasan reaching out to him personally. This was just something because of the reaction and the brigading from his community, and also because he was worried about upsetting sponsors. But as a result of this clip right here, a lot of people are saying, wow, W Ludwig for stepping out against Hasan. You can see the comments on this post sharing the clip, very positive. Another one turning on Hasan. Let's up those numbers. Ludwig's spine grew 3 vertebrae that day. W Jellywig. Ludwig, and then this image that's been making the rounds. Ludwig turns on Hasan. The rats are eating each other. I love this. So at least some encouragement, even some positive comments. People saying, hey, at least you finally spoke out against this guy that many people believed Ludwig was a defender of, to the point of deleting his own videos that criticized him. But guess who's not happy? Hasan's community. They are very upset about what's going on here. And here's this giant board of comments here. Let's just read a few. Him screwing over his own girlfriend's career for this, by the way. But because in case you forgot, Cutie Cinderella is part of the Fear and Pod with Hasan. So, in case you didn't know, Ludwig is dating Cutie Cinderella, who also got involved in this because she made comments about Collargate, and that was a whole mess. But basically, as you can see, apparently if you speak out or have an opinion that is critical of Hasan, you've ruined your career in the LA streaming scene, which is a very sad thing. I don't think this is the W this person thinks it is. This next one says, did you see he apologized to effing Destiny for being mad at him after what he said about QT? The next one says, Ludwig probably hates Hasan because he spends more time with his girlfriend than he does. As you'll see with like a lot of these, there's no actual criticism. There's no comments about why he's wrong for saying it's a shock collar. There won't be one single defense of that. Instead, it's just personal attacks on Ludwig. Gutless Yakubian Devil. I think that's a bit excessive. Ludwig would kill a guy just to avoid losing his sponsor. Saying I wouldn't even go to Hasan's funeral is crazy. Well, he said he's not friends with Hasan. And he also said he will no longer associate with 95% of the people he currently does the second his career is over. You can think he's a jerk for saying that, but at least he's honest. Why would he do something like that for someone he's not friends with even now? He's not even pretending to be friends with him right now. For someone who has a degree in journalism, he is not very good at fact-checking. Okay, Hasan defender. I'm glad the Hasan defender with a degree in journalism knows about fact-checking. That seems immediately ironic. This after Ludwig said Hasan definitely owns a shock collar and that he would not call Hasan a friend, and also implied that socialism is when you don't make money today. Based? I don't get Ludwig. He decides to dagger Hasan today by saying it's 100% a shock collar, and it's just a fact, but then immediately says, but I don't know, after researching his own TikTok For You page. MF, you know the dude, your partner is at his house every week. See, another weird personal attack and trying to pick apart words here. I think his opinion's very clear, and again, if you got something to prove that it's not a shock collar, go ahead and prove it. But let's read some more. I hate this effing guy. I don't even like Hasan that much anymore. Many oomps will know, but I just effing hate this guy. Well, good counter to the shock collar comment. Ludwig is generally one of the most spineless people on Twitch. Oh, it's amazing. Now the other side's calling him spineless. Wow, what a turn of events here. But here's another one down here. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts doing some right-wing grifts. Yep, the second you speak out against Ludwig or Hasan, you are a right-winger, and that's just a fact, ladies and gentlemen. But this one's interesting too, where XQC would respond. This guy is friends with a dude who made AI poontang deepfakes for women, or of women, by the way. One of these women were his girlfriends. So basically you went from, it's not a shot collar, to, if you say it is, I'm going to go after you for who you're friends with. The mind of a Hasan viewer is fascinating. Oh, also reminder that your goat zaps his dog. All good though. Yeah, the standard of talking about what someone's friend did, I mean, couldn't you say that about everyone who's friends with Hasan and you bring up the million things he's done? Or you could say that about Hasan and the people he's friends with, including his orbiters, who have threatened people, made calls to violence, done all sorts of terrible things. Like, it's not really a great standard, and also it's just weird to suddenly now care about this and criticize Ludwig for it when you had nothing to say about it until he finally said something negative about Hasan. But also, Asmongold would come in and talk about Hasan's community because, as we see, they're quite toxic.
Do you think that the most vicious, personal, and hostile forms of hate that I've had leveraged at me over all the years has absolutely been from Hasan's community? And it is not even remotely close. Like, 100%, his community has been the most toxic and hostile. And again, if somebody else wants to give their opinion on this or whatever else, that's fine. But when you have Dr. K saying this, you have, or at least indirectly, you have Ludwig saying this indirectly. I mean, come on, guys. Like, what are we doing here? I mean, how many points on a line or on a graph do you need to make a line? Yeah, that's it. It's the left overall. It is. It's left-wing people overall, and I think that his community is a conduit for that. And you're right that in some ways it's guilt by association. And I think in some cases maybe you're right. Maybe that's not necessarily fair to him because it is guilt by association. But I think that other left-wing communities, like for example, like Destiny's community, has been hostile to me, but they have been. Destiny's community is a lot different, and I can't speak to. I know Hasan and Destiny have like a lot more personal, like friction than like I and Destiny have really had over the years, I would say. So like, there's not really that same level of animosity, but when Destiny's community attacks me, they attack things that I say. When Hasan's community attacks me, they attack who I am.
Yeah, I don't think there's anyone out there that's being slightly objective that could deny that Hasan's community is very toxic. Like, it's a fact at this point. And as Asmongold pointed out, and really the comments we just looked at point out as well, it's not criticism when they're going after someone. It's just personal attacks. It's just name calling, slander, and arguing with strawmen. That's literally all they got. It hits a little different. But Dr. K, who's someone very popular on the scene, he's worked with a lot of content creators, including providing therapy and things like that. And he says that one of the biggest complaints is about Hasan and his community.
There's a lot of pent-up stuff, I think, that's specifically towards Hasan. So I know, for example, that, and I'm not saying this is true or not true, I'm just saying that with the creators that I've worked with, one of the things that there are a handful of communities that they're really scared of, and Hasan's is one of them. I'm not saying that that's justified or not justified. I'm not saying it's true or not true, but just for whatever reason, right? And when people say, I'll ask them like, why, right? What concerns you about? And I think it has something to do with his size, his rigidity, and the tribalism of his community, right? There's an us versus them.
You know, when it comes to what he's saying here, I think it's really twofold. Like, why these people are scared of Hasan and his community. It's because, number one, they're afraid they're going to lose sponsorships and opportunities. You know, you see with these LA streamers who are kind of all interconnected, they're afraid to say anything negative about Hasan because they will be ousted from the group. We've heard that many different times. On top of that, they will willingly defend him and make complete fools out of themselves in the process, as we've seen over the past 2 weeks. So I think that's one of the fears. The second fear is the community that's going to brigade you forever. Unfortunately, if you make one mistake that makes them angry, as you see with Ludwig, that continues on for 18 months without him ever talking about Hasan. That's just the way it is. Like, they're going to attack you forever, so that shouldn't stop you from speaking your mind or criticizing Hasan, because they're just going to do it anyways, right? But that's the status with Ludwig. He has stepped out and criticized Hasan. Now, there's another clip here. I'll just describe it. But basically, he says he doesn't want to have beef with anyone, including Hasan and his community. But dude, I'm sorry, you stepped out of line. You're going to be a lifelong enemy of that community. That's just the way it is. Anyone who's dealt with this, you understand. That's just the way it is forever. But hey, you're going to get it one way or another. Staying silent, they're going to keep doing it. Or if you open up your mouth and criticize them, they're going to probably do it just the same amount. So that's that situation. But hey, it's not a Hasan video without checking out his very bold politics. Curtis Sliwa, which is a person running for mayor in New York City. In quotes, "We must send minors to prison." This did not go well. Like I said, I think he's lost the plot on Twitter recently, where normally his political tweets, they like dominate, right? And it doesn't get a lot of flack from people, but like this is just a random assortment of the top comments. "We must send dog abuser to prison. Get in," ratioing him. "F these authoritarian fascist dictators." And then he zaps his dog in this comic. "Now do animal abusers. Who cares what you think? You abuse your dog. We must send dog abusers to prison. Did you tweet this from the light of your dog's electric collar?" And then you just see it goes on, and then this one's hilarious. But there was someone who responded and got about 6 or 7 times the amount of likes. Oh, it's the candidate for mayor. Yeah, he would directly respond to Hasan's claim, and he says, clarifying, "If they commit violent crimes in furtherance of street gangs, yes, and people who abuse animals too, by the way." And as this person down here reacts, "Oh zap." Yeah, this was a shocking response from Curtis here, but one that is a growing trend of these politicians either cutting ties with Hasan or dunking on him. And it's fascinating to see. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.